And hello, and welcome back to the garden. It is, oh gosh, it's not even early June anymore. It's almost mid-June. It is the late afternoon of June 13th, 2013, and it is time for an updated garden report and letting you know where things are at. So, right now, deal is that of the three of us currently working on the garden, friend Marianne is out of the country on one of her regular visits to see dear friends in South Africa. So right now it's just between Stripey and I. Stripey has had a very busy week, so I am out here myself taking time as I can from my own busy week, and hey, someone has to do it. With the weather changing, we've had June gloom mornings, but very, very hot days. So while Marianne was able to get in some last watering on Monday, it was definitely time for a quick soak here before the weekend, and Stripey and I hopefully will have a chance to come out and check on things on Monday and do a few more in-depth things we have to work on. But again, this week probably not. We're just a little too exhausted, but we can at least show you where everything's at. As you can see, the roses, again, in fine fettle, really nothing new to report. They've always been just so constantly great. Some amazing blossoms right here. And as you can see down the line, just some other lovely growth, including, unsurprisingly, the center one just sort of exploding all over the place. Its fronds just, or however you want to call them, branches, just keep going everywhere, but with some lovely blossoms down here as well as the end ones. So that is good to see. Society garlic looking very well down there as well. Coming through over to our small batches here in the pot. More roses and society garlic continue along. The artichokes, even though they were clearly are among our best producers early on, have reached a bit of a dead point. As you can see from the color of the leaves, it looks like they might already essentially be done for the season to some degree. Maybe they'll have a second wind, as is often the case, but the color is very off. They certainly produced, arguably maybe even overproduced, and now they seem to be sort of letting go a bit. We still have a number of artichokes coming in, but my guess is that the huge batch of absolutely lovely ones that we did have, and we had quite a few, are probably coming to their end. We have some further growth, but as you can see, some other ones just sort of flat out dying right there. So, too bad for that, unfortunately. So, we'll take a look at this next week and figure out what to do from there. Artichokes are steady. They're sort of growing and half-growing, I guess is the way to put it. Their color's looking a little better here. We will see what the rest of the year brings them. Over here, a bit of a mixed batch. Frankly, I think that's a 4 o'clock right there, so I think we may be getting rid of that sucker there soon enough. It's ironic that it would be the most thriving one here, but frankly, if it is a 4 o'clock, and I believe it is, we don't need it around. As for everything else, well, the peas are the peas. There's not really much there. As you can see, this one here is essentially gone, and this one here is still kind of thriving, but this turned out to be just sort of a bit of a crapshoot that didn't quite play out. More's the pity. Over here, the amaryllis, after some initial flowering, is kind of holding steady. It may have had something to do with the gopher invasion that we did have over here, and now since thankfully not repeated from what I can tell. But, hey, they're thriving, so can't knock into that. And the rosemary, again, certainly some bushes gone, but there's some branches gone, but others in very good stead, so much to be had there. Astounding growth from the tomatoes, no other way to put it. Almost too much. To give you sort of a back view here, this is where the border between the two gardens right here, or to our neighbor's garden over here on the left. As you can see, the center batch is really starting to lean over the zucchini, and we can't have that, just being a terrible neighbor. So we're going to definitely have to do some looking at this, hopefully next Monday, and either sort of direct things back, or maybe even just sort of lose this back patch, so that way, again, we're not being bad neighbors. But we'll take a look at that more thoroughly then. In the meantime, however, just, again, some really astonishing growth, no question about it. Lots of things coming around and coming up. Plenty of tomatoes still very much in green phase and more to come. Flowers everywhere, all three of them going very well in very different ways. These ones here down a little lower, as you can see, but still doing well. Oh boy, making a lot of sauces, I suspect, assuming that all these tomatoes come through. Again, while I'm seeing some very good growth, I'm not seeing any red ones quite yet, at least none are leaping out at me. We'll have to do some more deep investigating here as we go, but clearly they are en route, so sometime here within the next few weeks it's going to be tomatoes galore. Similarly, well, zucchini is the zucchini. Can never be surprised by the huge growth that gets. So as you can see, plenty of leaves coming in. We've already harvested quite a bit of zucchinis. I can see a couple of ones down here, sort of tucked away. You can sort of see another one's there. We've already claimed quite a few of them, but that means there'll just be more here forthcoming. So we'll just keep watering that. I can never remember which are the ones we planted here, but as you can see, these are doing fine. The ones over here are 2-year ones, so I'm not expecting anything there. But this batch seems to be coming along. And where the radishes were, quiet for now. The Malabar spinach, which were sort of guests from the old plot that was over here along to the side, has sort of taken root here and seems to be thriving, so it's our unexpected treat after the spaghetti squash went away. So we'll just keep cultivating that. And the corn. Well, on the one hand, corn is essentially thriving, growing, sort of doing things there, tassels and beyond. As you can see, however, a few of the ears are not looking so good. Like here and around over here, we've already had varmints had their way. Not a good sign. We have a number of ears, however, still sort of thriving and coming along. But we're going to have to take a closer look at this. On the one hand, there's growth. On the other hand, success rate, and again, here's another one here not looking so good, is looking a little varied. So whether it's bugs or whether it's something else, we'll have to cross our fingers. It would be great to have some ears out of this thing. It's a great batch of plants, but success rate, have to cross our fingers, and we'll just keep an eye on what's going on here. So we shall see. And beyond that, marvelous weather, as mentioned. We are moving into mid to late June, and then summer after that, so lots of clear skies. Our neighbors, as always, just amazing success rates. You know, I profess not to envy them. On the same time, I'm always deeply impressed at how well our neighbors are just doing. I mean, just this one right here, just astonishing. Look at that. I believe it's kale back there, actually, that purple stuff. And purple artichokes here, more tomato growth, and just more things to be seen all around. It is a wonderful time to be out here at this garden. As you can see, some astonishing sunflowers over there. It's always lovely whenever we see sunflowers, and also some really good corn. Puts ours in the shade, quite frankly, so I give credit to them. They figured it out. And our neighbors right next to us got a good bunch of stuff going. And then over here, some good cleanup. The neighbors sort of replaced the plants that were going from here with their own corn, it looks like, and doing very well. So, hey, you know, if our neighbors are all succeeding or we're just sort of half there, it's just part of the experience. And over here, the local vineyard, as you can see, doing very well indeed with some new grape plants put in. And so we'll see how that comes along this year. So, another wonderful year looking around here. We're doing our best with our own little efforts. It's been a great experience all around, and we will continue. So hopefully another report next week. Until then, talk to you soon.